Good afternoon. We'll now start. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There will be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your face in the video. Reminder after the pep talk is to take the online Learning Com evaluation test exercise or OLETE for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. And then obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a free voucher for a RO hospital medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay. Ready? Get set. Go. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk: the core course, the health disorder course, and the health issue courses. I have so far delivered at least 240 pep talks from May 15, 2021 to May 9, 2026, a period of 5 years, every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. And then May 16, last month, 2026, marks the start of the year number 6. How long the pep talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. My pep talk today is entitled, When Should a Person Consult or Not Consult a Physician? So the empowerment objective is for the lay people to have a basic understanding on when should a person consult and not consult a physician in their health management. So this lecture will be part of the 3 main modules that I'll be starting this year on year number 6. Now there are 3 modules that I have designed for from now on. So first module is navigating the healthcare services. Then the second one is health literacy development, and then healthy lifestyle behavior change. So this particular topic today, when should a person consult or not consult a physician, will be under navigating healthcare services. So all of you, the lay people, should know how to navigate healthcare services. For today, this will be in terms of when should you consult and when you should not, you need not, pwedeng hindi, you need not consult a physician. So the contents of this particular pep talk will be the following. I will first define the terms of the title. There are 3 keywords there: person, consult, and physician. And then I will be discussing when should a person consult a physician. And then the last topic would be, when should a person not consult a physician or does not have to consult a physician? The disclaimer here is that the R.O. Hawson pep talk contains the R.O. Hawson's thoughts, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations, or TPORs, culled from personal experiences of R.O. Hawson and the writings of other health professionals. Let's start with the definition of terms in the title: person, consult, and physician. When I say person, when I put the word person in the title, I refer to any human being who may one day be sick or ill, magkakasakit, to need to consult a physician, at the very least, to consult. In such a situation, pag nag-consult na, that person becomes a patient. Now, as to the word consult, in the context of consulting with a physician, this refers to a structured, may konting well-designed conversation where a physician, doctor, listens to the patient's health concerns, kikinig siya kung anong problema ng pasyente, then gathers information through questions and examinations. Kaya kung kadalasan natapapansin nyo, ini-interview namin kayo as from doctor to patients, and then we do examinations. So we are gathering information that will help us come out with a diagnosis. Then after that, a plan of treatment. So that's the component of a consultation. Okay? So hindi kasama yung mga procedures dito sa consultations. It just includes history or interview, and then physical examination, and then coming out with a diagnosis and a plan. So consult may be in the mode of face-to-face or online or telemedical. Nowadays, medyo popular na yung telemedical. Okay? Dati-dati hindi. Dati-dati puros face-to-face. Ngayon, kasama na yung telemedical consult. Now, when you talk about physician in the title, so this refers to a person who is legally qualified to practice medicine. Meron siyang, talking about the Philippines, meron siyang Professional Regulation Commission license to practice medicine, at least general medicine. So he is a doctor of medicine recognized by the government or certified by the PRC. And then, when I talk about physician, maraming klaseng physicians, it can be classified into dalawa: general physicians or a specialist physicians, general practitioners or a physician. So we will refer to these two when we talk about physician in this particular pep talk. Person, consult, physician. So let's go to the main meat of the pep talk, one of which is, when should a person consult a physician? A person should consult a physician when symptoms, may nararamdaman na by a patient, by a person, are severe, matindi, and then unusual, hindi pangkaraniwan, and persistent, hindi siya nawawala, or getting worse, or when they have a new health concern that isn't clearly improving. So a person can consult a physician anytime he or she wants, for whatever reason, as long as they are medical. So it's really up to the person. Kung gusto niya pumunta sa isang doktor, pwede. We don't have to qualify whether it's severe, unusual, no? Kung gusto niya pumunta, punta siya as long as the reasons will be magpapakonsult siya. He or she can seek medical advice for preventive care also, hindi lang for symptoms, yung prevention strategies, programs. and for management of symptoms that worries him or her, even though they are mild, medyo magaan lang, di masyadong mabigat, and moderate, and does not have to be severe to justify a medical consult. So in short, anything goes. If you really want to see a doctor for whatever reason, basta medical, pwede. No, it doesn't have to be very severe ang symptoms. Pwedeng mild, pwedeng wala ring symptoms. No? The person should seek consultation with a physician whenever she has symptoms. That's the minimum. And then health concerns, may mga doubts siya, may tatanong siya, or questions that require professional evaluation, diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. So the timing na lang ang pinag-uusapan dito, yung timing of the consultation. So it depends on the severity. The more severe the symptoms are, mas urgent yung dapat mas urgent yung pagpunta sa doktor. And also it depends on the persistence of the problem. Kung on and off lang nawawala, usually baka pwedeng hindi, pwedeng you can take your time. Okay lang. So the timing depends on two factors, severity and persistence of the problem. So the first category of indications for a person to consult a physician. Given dito, yung merong reasons to consult. Okay. So you seek emergency medical care immediately. Pag emergency, immediate yon. So these are some examples of situations. Chest pain, sakit ng dibdib, especially if associated with sweating, shortness of breath, and pain radiating to the arm or the jaw. So this could be an alert sign for heart attack. Kaya importante pumunta kagad. Sudden weakness, numbness, facial drooping, or difficulty in speaking. So possible stroke, punta ka agad sa emergency room, emergency medical care. Then severe difficulty of breathing, talagang hirap na huminga. Loss of consciousness, okay. Severe bleeding, seizures, and then sudden severe headache. Okay, baka merong aneurysm na pumutok, no? Severe allergic reactions with swelling of the face or throat na pwedeng kamatay. Then the other overarching indications will be severe ang symptoms, may high risk for death and disability, whatever they are, whatever be the symptoms, basta may kutob kayo, baka pwedeng mamatay, pwedeng magkaroon ng severe disability, go for emergency consult already. So all these situations mentioned here are categorized as emergent medical consultation or emergency medical consultations. So the second category will be depending on the severity and timing and all this on the symptoms, prompt consultations, which could be within days, the emergency. That's why we call it urgent medical consultations. So if there are persistent fever, unexplained weight loss, new lumps or masses, persistent cough, blood in the sputum, urine or stool, persistent abdominal pain, habang ino-observe, ang tuloy dyan pa rin, persistent vomiting or diarrhea, new skin lesions or changing moles, worsening fatigue without explanation. So these are samples of situations in which a prompt consultations will have to be done. So the general guide dito, kasi may mga gray zones ito, persistent fever, baka mild lang, no? So baka hindi naman siya urgent, pwede maghintay pa, no? So the general guides will be the following for the urgent, severe symptoms, but with no evidence of high risk for death and disability. Kung merong evident risk, high risk for death, disability, emergency yon, emergent. No? Then persistent naman, sabi natin kanina, two factors, severity and persistent. Persistent even moderate, severe, or even more so severe symptoms with a high risk for a serious disease. Persistent siya, there's a high risk for a serious disease. Go for a medical consultation the soonest time possible. Hindi na emergency, hindi na agad-agad. You can pwedeng within days, within 1 day or 2 days, gano'n. Okay? So we label this as urgent medical consultation. Now, seek routine elective consultation if there are symptoms lasting for more than expected, recurrent symptoms, yung paulit-ulit for 1 month, 2 months, no? O 6 months, gano'n. Pero wala namang masyadong risk for any disability. Concerns about chronic diseases such as hypertension, diabetes, thyroid disease, questions about medications and side effects, concerns about mental health, sleep, stress, anxiety, or depressions. So ito, we just categorize them as semi-urgent, and we call that routine and elective. Okay? So the general guide here, it's not severe and without high risk, suspicious for death and serious disease. So this is the third category. And the fourth category, even when you're feeling well, you can consult for the following reasons. You want to have preventive health examinations like executive checkup, yung mga routine check-up with the physicians, no? Vaccinations, cancer screening, no? Wala naman kayo nararamdaman, papascreen lang ninyo, possible may cancer, cervical cancer, colorectal, prostate, and then gusto nyo pa-measure ng blood pressure monitoring, then screening for cholesterol and diabetes, and then lifestyle counseling. So you can take your time, you call that non-urgent medical consultations. So a practical rule to remember to decide when a person should consult a physician consultation is advisable when, number one, you have symptoms you cannot confidently explain. Nag-worry ka na, hindi ko maintindihan, bakit ganon, no? Then, number two, symptoms are severe. That's one. Persistent. Hindi siya severe, pero persistent siya. Recurrent, paulit-ulit. No? Yung persistent, yung tuloy-tuloy. Recurrent, pabalik-balik. And worsening. Number three, the conditions interferes with your daily activities. Hindi kayo nakakatrabaho mabuti, so you have to consult a physician. And then, based on in your intuition, you think treatment may be needed. Nasa sa inyo na yun, no? And you want to prevent disease or maintain health through screening and counseling. So these are the main general indications for consultations. From a patient empowerment perspective, patients can be taught to perform illness recognition. This is part of our program of health literacy, which we will cover again. As we have covered it for the last 5 years. Uulitin lang natin. And then you have to classify symptoms into yung kanina, yung emergency. Kung emergency siya, go to the physicians right away or to the emergency room. Then urgent, categorized as urgent, see a doctor soon. Soon. Not now, but soon. And then routine, yung mga hindi urgent, then you can schedule a consultation in the clinic or in a elective face-to-face teleconsultations. So emergency, now, urgent, now, so, pag urgent siya, as soon as possible. Pag hindi naman urgent, hindi emergency, you can take your time, no? Okay. Then schedule for call up the doctor, schedule for a consultation. A word about self-recognition and physician consultation. Ito yung laging tinatanong when we talk about patient empowerment. Is it ikaw ba you have to act as a physician, but ang gusto natin when you talk about patient empowerment, we're going to teach you how to recognize symptoms, mga diseases, so that you can manage, make some decisions on your own, but you still need a physician consultation. So recognizing symptoms such as fever, kaya ninyo mag-recognize ng fever, or a breast lump, neck swelling, or weight loss, is an important first step in patient empowerment. So this is recognition of symptoms. However, recognizing symptoms is different from diagnosing the cause. Yung pwedeng turuan kayo, possible cause, pero talagang yung parang pinaka-accurate na answer to the diagnosis, usually mahirap siya. So a physician consultation becomes important when the underlying cause needs to be identified and the seriousness needs to be assessed. Kung minsan hindi nyo alam, yung abdominal pain, is it due to just parang indigestion o baka pancreatitis na o kaya pumutok na yung ulcer, gano'n. And then there's also a need for the doctor's consultation because some decisions have to be made in terms of treatment. Kailangan na gawin ngayon, o pwedeng hindi, o pwedeng obserbahan lang. Okay? So in short, recognizing symptoms, you try to recognize symptoms yourself, but seek physician consultation whenever the cause, significance, prognosis, or management is uncertain, or when symptoms are severe, persistent, or concerning. Nasa inyo na yun. No? So, in patient empowerment, we will be teaching how to recognize symptoms, but the decision when to see a physician, we will leave it up to you, but we will tell you that when we empower you, it doesn't mean that you don't consult a doctor anymore. No? So the golden rule is when to consult again, trust your instinct. Walang nothing set on stones dito. Kung meron kayong feeling na kailangan niyo pumunta, punta na kayo. No? Okay. Nobody will fault you for that. So if you feel that something is simply not right with your body and mind, it is always safer to consult a healthcare professional than to wait. Okay? So it's better to err on that side of commission. Pupunta kayo, pero pala hindi naman kailangan, okay lang yun. No? Kaysa hindi kayo pumunta, akala nyo hindi kailangan at dapat pumunta. Now let's go to the second, yung other side of the coin. When should a person not consult a physician? When we ask this question, it's a tatanggapin natin na pwede ho kayong hindi pumunta sa isang doktor. Okay, but for the right reason. So, this is a free country. You have a free choice, freedom to select to do some decisions. Kung ayaw niyo pumunta, okay lang, but you must have a justified reason. So, in general, a person does not need to consult a physician for kahit na may symptoms kayo, hindi naman kailangan talaga pumunta, okay? For every discomfort or health-related questions, especially when the condition is minor. We have to define what's minor is later on, and then self-limiting and improving. Okay? So these are the qualifications. You don't have to consult a physician if you think kaya nga tinuturuan kayo ng self-recognition. If you think the conditions that you have is minor, simple lang, self-limiting from your experience, nawawala naman siya pusa after few seconds, few minutes, and nag-i-improve naman after observing it for several minutes to 1 hour, nawawala. So you don't have to see a doctor. No? So the human body, fortunately, the human body is remarkably resilient. Majority at least, majority. May mga tao na may gene na talaga mahinang-mahina. No? And minor ailments often just need a little time and rest. Change your environment, mag-rest lang kayo, okay? Then allow time to heal by itself, ganon. Then makakabalik na kayo sa dati. Okay? So, examples where physician consultation may not necessarily be needed, may not be necessary, include the following. Number one, a common colds with mild symptoms that are improving within a few days. And this is a common experience. Now, pag may common colds kayo, kadalasan, yung mga pasyente, okay lang, ino-observe lang niya, tinatanggap niya, mawawala naman. Pero there are also a lot of patients who would go to a doctor, no? And say, ay, may sipon ako, hindi mo wala, no? So, kumisan, may disadvantage yon. Pag pumunta kayo sa doktor, yung mga doktor, to satisfy your wants, your needs, bibigyan kayo ng gamot na kahit na hindi kailangan. No? Okay. So, baka kailangan, hindi, kumisan, ayaw nila sabihin na rest lang kayo at uminom kayo maraming tubig, no? Ganon. So, there's a tendency for a lot of doctors, they have to give medications, no? Kaya trap na kayo doon, no? So, yan ang side effects if you don't know how to decide when not to see a doctor. Kung may minor cuts, bruises, or muscle aches that respond to basic first aid, kung sanay kayo rito, which you have to learn, no? Yung mga konting bruises lang, contusions, no? Pwedeng hindi na pumunta sa doctor. Hintay na lang kayo, usang gagaling na yun, no? Then occasional mild headache that resolves with rest, hydration, and usual measures. Kadalasan tayo, nagkakaroon tayo ng experience and headache, but we know that they are usually self-limiting. Pero kung recurrent, palagi masakit, persistent, that's the time you see a doctor. Kung paminsan-minsan lang, okay lang. Transient fatigue after strenuous exercise. So activity. So identify nyo yung activity. Pag may fatigue kayo, identify nyo kung anong ginawa nyo before that. No? Maka napagod lang kayo. So kung napagod lang kayo because of strenuous activities, you don't really have to see a doctor. Magpahinga lang kayo. In due time, makaka-recover na kayo. Then questions about healthy lifestyle habits that can be answered through reliable health education purpose. So, ito medyo may konting controversy ito. No? Kasi maraming nag-criticize. Huwag kayo pupunta sa Google and search for your answer. Sa akin, pwede. Basta as long as you know what you're looking for and how you can discern which one is correct, which one is not scam, which ones are telling the truth. Okay? Pwede. So meaning questions about healthy lifestyle habits that can be answered through reliable health education resources usually in the internet. No? Ngayon, pati yung AI, marami dyan. Mga ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, no? Personally sa akin, okay, no? Basta you have to control it lang, no? Okay. So you have to know how to decide which ones are correct, which one are most likely wrong, scam, or ano. Okay? So, but important caveats, no, in terms of when you say that you do not have to consult, but you have to remember na ano. Okay? These are some of the mga danger. Okay? So, do not avoid consultation. So you must consult if the symptoms are severe, persistent, recurrent, or worsening. Okay? So madaling tandaan ito. Severe, masakit, persistent, no? Tuloy-tuloy, di nawawala, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, recurrent, paulit-ulit, na nakaka-istorbo na, and then worsening, yung mas lumalala. Okay, 4, no? Severe, persistent, recurrent, worsening. Then there are warning signs or red flags that you should be aware of in the health literacy, no? Such as chest pain. Chest pain is an alert warning sign, red flags, shortness of breath, weakness of arm or legs, baka stroke, severe abdominal pain, baka aneurysm, ruptured aneurysm, o baka obstruction, high fever, confusion, and significant bleeding. So these are some examples of the flags that you have to be aware of. And kung meron, there's a tendency for you to go to a doctor right away. And then person who has a chronic diseases, alam niyo meron kayong diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. And then, magpapatingin pa rin kayo for follow-up check-up. No? Or when you develop new symptoms, pa-check up kayo. No? And then the other one is when the diagnosis is uncertain. Most of the time, you're not certain of the diagnosis as lay people. Even kami mga doctors na lang, no? A lot of times, we have difficulty in making certain diagnosis also. What more kayo pa, no? Okay. Kaya maraming mga lab tests mga pinapagawa ng mga doktor, no? Because a lot of times, you're not certain of the diagnosis after makita ho kayo, no? So, kung di kayo sigurado sa diagnosis, just see a doctor. Or try to improve yung mga accuracy ninyo in terms sa diagnosis sa mga lecture natin, sa patient empowerment program, yung mga health literacy program. And then, when you do self-care measures, no, hindi nag-i-improve, punta na kayo sa doctor. So, this implies that pwede kayong gumawa ng mga first aid measures, no, pero pag hindi umuobra, punta na kayo, no? So, just like yung mga medicines, yung mga advertisement ng medicines, di ba? If symptoms persist, consult your doctors already. No? So a practical approach in terms of this issue, a person should not consult a physician. So many patient empowerment programs encourage self-recognition and self-management of minor illnesses, but not self-diagnosis of potentially serious diseases. They do not encourage self-diagnosis. Pero mahirap nga i-draw the line between self-recognition and self-diagnosis. No? Okay. So, mismo ako, I'm not fully sold dito sa mga proposal ng mga ibang mga healthcare professionals. No? So, they discourage you on self-diagnosis. Pero sa akin, when you say self-recognition, may konting self-diagnosis na yun. So a reasonable question is, can I safely monitor this for a short period or does it require a professional regulation? So I think tatanungin niyo sa sarili niyo, no? Based on your experience, no? Pwede ba yun? Kung di kayo sigurado, go to a doctor already. Pero kung meron kayong experience in the past at confident kayo, no? That's what patient empowerment program is all about. Improve your health literacy, give you the confidence in trying to decide. But if there is a doubt about the seriousness of the symptoms, consultation with a physician is usually the safer choice. So going back to what I said earlier, trust your instinct. Okay? Kung may duda kayo at punta na kayo sa doktor. Okay? And the useful rule is do not consult a physician for every minor symptoms. So ito yung statement of not to. Not every minor symptoms. Kasi maraming minor symptoms, let's say mga non-specific, self-limiting, pusang nawawala, konting sakit lang. No, you don't really have to consult a doctor. Okay. So I'll tell you one of the drawback here. You have any symptoms that you consult a doctor, kadalasan, ang training mga doctor, they look for a disease for you. No? So, ang training nila is not on the non-specific symptoms. No? Self-limiting na pwedeng bantayan lang, ganon, no? So when you go see them, they do a lot of tests, they give you a lot of medicines. So do not delay, do not consult for every minor symptoms, but do not delay when symptoms are unexplained, hindi maintindihan yourself, persistent, worsening, recurrent, no, or potentially serious. So a quick rule of thumb is if your symptom is mild, familiar, and something you have safely managed at home before, so dapat meron kayong experience before, it is usually safe to wait for a few days to see if it improves. Okay? Few days or earlier, kahit na few weeks, pwede rin, minsan, no, but it all depends. Okay? However, if a minor symptom lingers for more than a week or progressively worsen, that is your cue to upgrade to a professional opinion. So probably mahirap din magbigay ng absolute rule ng 1 week. So adjustable na lang tayo. It all depends on the symptoms, no? Pwedeng 2 weeks, no? Yung iba naman, 2 days lang, 3 days lang. Dapat na-observe na. Kung na-observe ninyo, no? May mga specific symptoms, let's say abdominal pain, masakit ang tiyan. Usually 3 days lang, no? Ang observation, 2 to 3 days lang. Kung di siya nag-improve, punta na kayo sa doktor. Yung ibang, let's say, mga bukol-bukol, baka 1 week pwede i-observe mo na or even 2 weeks, no? Ganon. So it all depends. Okay? So summary and takeaway, I have discussed the following. Definition of terms in the title, person, consult, physician. When should a person consult a physician? When should a person not consult a physician? So, know when to consult and when there is no need to consult a physician. If in doubt, consult. Educate yourself on self-recognition of medical diseases and indications for consultations. Okay, kung kailangan magpatingin, and then i-time ninyo, kailangan ba emergent, urgent, semi-urgent, or non-urgent, or the last one is baka naman kailangan, no indications. No? So this is a good summary for the talk today. Now, takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information, and when should a person consult or not consult a physician? Knowledge is power, it gives power. Use the 4Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions on when should a person consult or not consult a physician as part of your health management. So with that, okay, future related topics that I might talk on under this module, navigating the healthcare services, which physicians to consult after this talk on when a person should consult or not consult, kung kailangan consult, which doctors, which physicians consult, and then what are the advices on the use of internet? Kasi ito yung maraming nagkikriticize na di dapat mag-internet on your health problems, no? So I'll give a talk on this one and others. So this ends my talk today. I hope I have empowered you to have a basic understanding on when should a person consult and not consult a physician in their health management. Before we go to the QA portion, reminder after the pep talk is to take the OLETE for Mastery of Learning and have a perfect score to get the certificate like the one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. And then reminder, obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO host on medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. And then feedback, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So let's now have a group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video now and show your faces. Okay. Ready? Face the camera. Show your beautiful faces. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the floor is now open for questions, comments, suggestions, free consults, sharing of experiences. Do you appreciate this topic today?
Yes po, Doc.
Especially yung when not to consult, no? Na-reinforce ba yung ano, kasi baka nagigiltihan kayo, sabi na, di ako nagpapatingin sa doktor, no? Baka magalit mga doktor. Pero with my lecture, I'm telling you frankly that there are situations in which you don't have to consult, no? So, kasi maraming doctor, mapagalitan kayo. Bakit hindi kayo nagpapakonsult? Bakit hindi kayo, no? Gusto nila, every kibot, papakonsult kayo, no? Okay. So, pwedeng hindi, no? But you must know when not to consult. Okay. Nasa inyo na yun, no? Okay. So, any questions? Any sharing of experiences? Anything that nag-regrets kayo, hindi kayo nag-consult? Or the other way around? Nag-regret kayo kasi nag-consult kayo? Anything? Patricia?
Dok, as a doctor, anong masasabi niyo na an instance na hindi kailangan magpa-consult?
Anong masasabi ko sa...
As as a doctor, ano pong masasabi niyo where a patient didn't need consultation?
Ay, mga sinasabi ko, yung let's say, may naranasan ka ng masakit sa isang parting katawan, let's say sa kamay, no? And then, masakit. Alam mo, nasaktan ka, no? So, ang gagawin mo, wag ka tatakbo ng emergency room right away, no? So that's consultation. Ang
Mhm.
gagawin mo, obserbahan mo muna, okay?
Mhm.
So habang ino-observe mo, that constitute not to consult first,
Mhm.
diba? Yon.
Mhm.
And then, after, let's say, after 1 hour, 2 hours na wala, no? Yung sakit.
Mhm.
No? I think naranasan mo na yan. No? Lahat tayo
Po.
naranasan na yan. No?
Mhm.
Biglang sasakit sa parting katawan after probably 30 minutes or even after few seconds lang, nawawala na. Diba?
Mhm.
Okay. So you don't have to go to the doctor and tell them, Doc, no, nung isang araw ko, sumakit yung kamay ko. No? Anong gagawin? Sa palagay mo?
Mhm.
So pag nag-consult ka, kung ano-anong iisipin ng doktor kasi to satisfy you, sige, pa-x-ray kaya natin, di ba?
Mhm.
Pa-CT
Mhm.
scan natin, yung kamay mo, pa-x-ray natin, pa-MRI natin, no? Ganon.
Mhm.
So, that's the drawback there, no?
Mhm.
So, to tell you honestly, ang training sa medical school, they focus more on correct naman yon. Once you have the symptoms, you try to make sure that it's not, it does not reflective of a particular disease. No? Okay? So, pero kadalasan, nalileft out yung ano, a majority of these symptoms are non-specific. No? Hindi siya nagpipinpoint, nagpo-point to a particular disease. So, ang tendency ng mga doctor, ang gagawin nila, hahanapan kayo ng isang sakit to explain your symptoms. No?
Okay. Mhm.
So, ang training nila is not only, hindi siya nakafocus, hindi siya, they don't, I mean, they're not fully, I don't know anong reason, no? Mas yan ang naranasan ko kasi na bawat symptoms that you have, gagawin nila yung mga test, no?
Okay. Okay.
Bibigyan ka ng gamot, no? Test, gamot and test. Sabi na, masakit ang kamay mo. ire-reseta ka na ng mga paracetamol,
Mm.
mefenamic acid, no? Bibigyan ka ng tramadol, no? Ganon, no? Na pwede namang wala, di
Opo.
ba?
Opo.
Okay. Kasi ang believe nila, kuminsan ang tendency, ang believe nila, pag hindi ko binigyan yung doktor ang believe nila, pag hindi ako nagbigay ng reseta, baka sabihin ng mga kasi mga pasyente gusto nila may reseta eh. Di ba?
Opo.
Okay. Hindi naman kailangan. So, as a true doctor, dapat ina-explain that to the patient. No? Huwag sila
Mm.
just, huwag sila may influence dun sa ano yung mga myth, yung mga practices ng mga pasyente. No? Okay. So, yung iba naman, aside from the gamot, maraming gagawin. No? So, mga
Opo.
test.
Mm.
At usually, yung mga test, medyo may kamahalan yun. Di ba?
Oo nga po.
Okay?
Okay.
So, yan,
Thank
yan
you.
ang ibig sabihin ng mga, pag hindi ka nagpa-consult, no, usually make sure you observe muna,
Mm.
no, lalo na yung mga hindi masyadong masakit naman, no. Pero kung talagang, even yung mga masakit, no,
Mm.
pwede mo pang i-observe for a few seconds, few
Mm.
30 minutes, ganon, no. Yung observation kasi pwedeng 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days, ito. No? So it all
Mm.
depends. Kung masakit na masakit, pwede mo pang i-observe. You still have time to observe for 2 hours, gano'n.
Mm.
1 hour, 2 hours. And then kung talagang nagpo-progress, masakit na masakit, yun, then you make a decision na. No?
Okay.
To see a doctor. No?
Opo.
Okay. Pero kung medyo magaan naman, medyo pwede pang kaya mo pa, no? Just continue to observe. Yan, importante yun. You continue to observe and monitor. No? Okay.
Okay.
So, kaya nga ako ino-offer ko sa inyo yung telemedical ko.
Mm.
Okay? So, the moment you have questions on when to see a doctor or not, no? Instead of going to the emergency room, lalo na kung may masakit na sa katawan ninyo, uh, consult me through telemedical muna,
Mm.
to guide you. Kasi ayoko yung, sa ngayon, I frown upon na napupunta kayo sa emergency room kung di kailangan eh. No?
Opo.
Kasi pagpunta kayo sa emergency room, trap kayo doon. Trap kayo
Mm.
in the sense
Oh.
that lahat ng test papagawa sa inyo, no? Kahit na hindi kailangan, no? Okay? So, you end up spending a lot of, maraming kayong gagastusin, no?
Opo.
So, okay?
Opo. Thank you.
Yung isa pang want to emphasize yung talking, especially those who have cancers, no? Importante yung check-up, no? Yung follow-up check-up, no? So, dapat kasama yon. So, elective yon. Hindi naman nagmamadali, pero dapat magpa-check up, no? So, kasi kung minsan umuulit na hindi niyo alam, no? Ang doktor ay nakakakita, no? So, mas may advantage yun, no? Okay. So, follow-up check-up for those with cancers, importante yun, no? Kasi pwedeng umulit eh, no? Okay? Any more? Annalyn, anything? Annalyn?
Ano po? Ano po yun? Wala,
Saan?
wala naman po akong question.
Wala kang questions, wala kang sharing? Shared ka na.
Wala po.
Wala. Ay, yung shinare mo sa Facebook ko.
Ano po yun?
When to consult, not consult. Di ba? Tama to.
Ah! Na-discuss nyo naman na po eh.
Okay.
Na-discuss nyo naman po. Ayoko
Ah,
pong pagunahan kayo.
ah, okay. Okay. So, basta kung, you don't have to consult a doctor if it's not needed. Yan ako magsasabi na as a doctor. No? But you have to consult a doctor when it's needed. No? Okay.
Opo.
So decision is really yours, kaya importante may patient empowerment to help you, no? Para to help you decide when not to go, when to go, no? So, pag marunong na kayo mag-decide, may mga benefit doon, it can help you come out with a better outcome pag pumunta kayo, no? Let's say, baka may serious disease kayo, at na-diagnose kagad, kaysa hindi kayo pumunta. No? Yung iba naman, pupunta kayo, pero hindi mo kailangan, gumastos lang kayo. Di ba? Ano, no? Okay. Okay? So if there are no more questions, we'll call it a day. We'll see each other next week. We'll be talking about which physicians to consult. Which physicians consult. No? Para may continuation. Sa ngayon kasi we talk about consulting a doctor. No? So next will be sinong doktor ang pupuntahan. No? Daming doktor, di ba? Kung minsan hindi niyo alam kung sinong pupuntahan. Tama?
Opo.
Okay. Okay. Sige, kung wala nang tanong, we'll see each other next week when which doctors to consult. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you po.